Pause, and then tell me which one. No, I can't get on to she.
Well, we just use this sleepy sensitive.
Me know about the one by Randy. The woman heading good. Next thing you know, I carry the wrong thing home and get put out.
You can't go wrong with this. Look, check it out. It got a cutout for the newborn navel string and it don't leak. Plus, watch this. It water woven and it dermatologically tested.
What? What do you mean?
Me never know, but my wife said it better for the baby's skin. Plus, this pack enough in it and it affordable.
You had me at dermatologically, you know. Anyway, pass it.
Sleepy, for mommies who look for the best.
Once again to the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. I hope that you're having a very splendid, a wonderful day wherever you're joining us from. It is a beautiful day out on the roads there. Just that the traffic does not seem that very heavy on that very busy East Bank Demerara Road. I came down pretty cool today. Nothing really. Seems just another ordinary day. We're in a hat today in the studio. It seems to be very, very cold. Stepping out, it's a little more humid. So wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, let's get into our mode today. And that mode is to get our business done. And it is the Wake Up Guyana show. It's for you to wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and start agitating for a better life. Let me tell you, there's a couple of things that we'll have to be discussing today, including the Diamond Drainage 1, the Echoes Dump Site Road 2, and we could talk generally about every and anything, including domestic violence. The Gold Bush continues to be a Wild West situation with killings, a lot of choppings and so on going on there, illegal mining. I'm not sure what is happening, but GGMC need to step up to the plate and start doing some more work there. We're hearing that it's too many cases of corruption in that area. We need to clean it up. We need to get serious about our backyard, what is happening there, who we letting into our backyard in Guyana for them to take charge, take away, rape our resources without giving us anything. And what are you doing about it? So wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, we're coming to you live from our studio here on Saffron Street, Charlestown, Georgetown, and we coming to you also on 99.1 in Esquimalt, Demerara, 99.5 in Berbice. We also streaming to you live on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook. On YouTube, it's Kaieteur Radio live stream. So we are going to get into our normal business for the day, which is we are going straight into our largest selling favorite newspaper in Guyana, the Kaieteur News. And this is what it has to say for November the 18th, 2020, the Wednesday's edition. It's midweek, just have about 12 days or so left for the month, and then it's the home stretch leading on to Christmas and the end of the year. What are you doing? What are you planning? Has life been a little better since the government went into office in August? We could talk about that. Has life improved? Are they doing enough? Should they be doing a little more? What can they do? We need you to talk to us. So today you are going to send those messages to us. 622-222, 226-7453 is the number that you call to the office. Maybe just a little to the studio rather, just a little after about 1:30 or even before then. We could start open up the lines. As of now, front page says Christopher Ram. This is the accountant lawyer, has been an advocate. ExxonMobil cheated Guyana on pre-contract cost. And you could remember we did had some chats about this situation. You take a partner to do a business, and this man hand you a light bill the first month of $1 million. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to question it or take it? Shut your mouth. tuck your tails into the corner and don't say anything, or should you question it and says, let me examine how some of these costs came about, and could you justify where the receipts? Did you actually pay GPL for this $1 million, or you're just telling me that you paid? So that's the situation here. So leading up to 2015 and even after 2015, before ExxonMobil went into production phase, and you know that we started production in December of 2019, ExxonMobil would have handed Guyana, according to reports, about $900 million in pre-contract costs. It means that they're claiming, leading up to this preparation for oil, we explored and we did a couple of other things. We paid staffers, we paid transportation, we put up in hotel and so on. And when we actually drilled, we hired a couple of ships, and they were there. And you owe us, Guyana, $900 million. How are you going to pay us? When we start producing, we're going to take it out back of those production costs. So pre-contract costs is basically that. And so ExxonMobil is, Christopher Ram is saying that ExxonMobil has padded their list kind of, and they cheated Guyana out of our costs. ExxonMobil to give Guyana a hefty bill for drilling well and give away Kaieteur block. And this Kaieteur block, you could recall that the news came out yesterday, the Tanger well. In that Kaieteur block, it's it is a force well being drilled there. ExxonMobil is the operator, like in the Stabroek block, and also would be in the Kanji block, which is next door. Kanji block is also like Kaieteur, on the controversy at the moment because of the way it was given out. It is supposed to have a lot of oil. Well, Exxon has found, what they say, they found oil, but they said it's not in commercial kind that they want, because it's a heavy oil. It's going to be too expensive at this point in time to think about processing. They're not rolling it out, but they're saying it's not commercial right now, commercially possible right now to look into that. So there are other wells that they're going to drill in this area. However, that bill from drilling that well in that Kaieteur block is what Guyana would have to be saddled with, should they find any production. Fair enough. What is the cost that they're going to give to us? Is it going to be something reasonable? Is it something that's going to follow a logical accounting procedure that we could be able to verify it? Or we would just have to pay it based on the words of these oil operators? That's what the story is saying. Radio, TV, cable operators owe GNBA over $100 million in fees, and rightfully so. Let me tell you something. When you give in the airwaves and you are on the radio here, it's not an easy thing operating a radio station. There's electricity, there's internet, there's staffers to be paid. Kaieteur News wasn't making money the last couple, Kaieteur Radio rather, because we weren't getting any advertisement during those couple months when Guyana was in a very dark place, a very dark mode, during the elections, 5 months that is. So a couple of radio station, cable TV operators who are finding themselves in deep trouble. They can't pay those fees, those annual fees. It comes up like about $5-6 million a year. And this in addition to what you would pay your staffers and keep your operations running for the lights, the AC, the whatever it is that comes with the normal fees with running a radio station or your TV station or the cable operations. And so the authority, the broadcasting authority, is saying that these big radio stations, and except Kaieteur News, of course, Kaieteur Radio, they have been paying, they've been keeping up to date. We can't take a chance of not being in compliance. And so these radio station, including CNS Channel 6, there's a television station there. Of course, HJ TV is one of them. HJ Radio is one of them that is also in trouble. I think Channel 9, that radio station that they have there, is also in some trouble. So, father of unborn child killed in mining pit accident. These stories here really hurt my heart because when you hear cases of children being left behind, children that may probably not get the normal push that a parent would be able to do it. One of the parents is gone. Is killed in a mining pit accident. And, over the years, we would see a number of cases like this as we have more and more people being interested in earning a living from our gold bush. You are going to see a lot of risk being taken. And so saying, so done. You can remember a couple of years back, an entire pit cave-in would have claimed the lives of several persons there. And what you have here in this particular case, a young man, his child on the way, would never know the daddy because he has been killed. Sad situation there. Man making complaint allegedly beaten chopped by family. Um, then there's the women's group, the gender group, the commission. They're concerned over the removal of the tourism PS Karen Van Slytman Corpin. They said that the removal was uncalled for and dehumanizing. Interesting story. This women's group is headed by Indra Chandapal. And here's the interesting story. She is a senior official or a high-ranking official within the ruling People's Progressive Party. And this is something that I like to see when we could have our own people criticizing some of the actions of their own people. And when you have a commission there, we would have seen one man kind of running commission for a very long time. The regulators listen to what the politicians are saying without daring to open them out. So here it is that this women's group commission, they're saying that we don't agree with the removal of this lady here, and it's uncalled for and dehumanized. And the reason why they're saying this is because Karen Van Slytman Corbin is also part of the women's organization here. But I look at it to the other side, which is that I like when group like this comes out and, regardless of political affiliations, that they can open them out and they could say the things that are necessary so that we could know that democracy is alive and well. People are not very scared. They're not ashamed. They're not afraid of the political leaders when they make statements that is going to protect democracy in this beautiful country of ours. There's a story here in Kaieteur newspaper here. Suriname to sell their oil blocks while Guyana give away ours for free. Something to think about. Kaieteur News has been on top of things when it coming to push for Guyana to be protected, that we could do a little more. The Consumers Affairs Commission telling shoppers to be aware during this Christmas shopping period. Said look to make sure that you collect your receipt. One, inspect your goods before purchases. Make sure that you go into a shop that there is not a sign that says do not return goods and things like that. He said these are a couple of things that we should be careful of, but always make sure that you protect yourself as a consumer. Check what it is that you're buying. Make sure that you get a receipt, or else you're going to do very little in terms of protecting yourself. And you would see there was a big hullabaloo. I am not sure if you were paying attention, those who were attached to Facebook over the last evening. There is one former minister and the current AG, Anand Lal, having a fight over Facebook, and Jaipal Sharma versus Anand Lal. We're going to have a discussion on that in a very short while. This is a very sad situation now. We are ongoing, and let me read some figures to you so you could be able to wake up your soul when it comes to COVID-19. And we could only talk about this if I tell you about figures overseas about what America is doing now, going on lockdown in a number of states, including New York. You would not think that that's not a country and that we don't need to pay attention. But let me tell you, COVID-19 death toll has now touched 140 since March, when we recorded our first case. So we have the number of confirmed cases since March, 4,890. There's almost 4,900. The number of new cases yesterday, 16. Number of persons in COVID-19 ICU, 10 cases. Number of confirmed cases by gender, this is 2,558. This is men. Confirmed cases by gender, females, this is 2,332. But between the two figures, it's obvious that men by 100 or so more would have been overtaken or would have been on top of persons being infected. Does that mean that men are a little more careless? We don't know what it means, because we need to have a little more analysis to be done on that. What you do know is that the number of persons in institutional isolation, that's in hospitals or other places that are locked down, is 100. Number of persons in home isolation, over 700 persons are there right now. Number of recovered cases, 3,930 persons. Of course, we talk about the number of deaths, 140. Number of institution quarantine, and that's 60 persons. Number of persons tested for COVID-19 to date, 25,417. So whether we like it or not, though, these are very, very big figures here that we're looking into. let me see what else it is. 200 St. Cuthbert's Mission. We have, I think, about just over 1,000 persons living there. Guess what? St. Cuthbert's Mission is one of the badly affected area there. 239 cases as of 2 days back. So we have to pay attention to this. I think there's another story about teachers, a number of teachers and students in Bartica testing positive for the COVID-19, and so right about now it's about 119. I think we could start to open up these lines here in a very short while. 6222222. I want you to send those messages to 6222222, and of course you could call us on 2267453. What I could tell you is this morning somebody raised the issue, one of my friends, about the state of the Eccles dump site road. There's a road between Bagotsung and Eccles leading down to not only the dump site, the Higgs Bosch dump site, but it also leads to a number of housing schemes there, the industrial side there, as well as to Republic Nandi Park, as well as to the Windsor estate. And it's saying that that road there is in a terrible state. I did reach out to Minister Deodat Indar as well as Minister Juan Edgil. Minister Deodat Indar says we don't have the budget for this year, but we will try to do some repairs it, some emergency repairs it. Juan Edgil, as the minister would have said, because I did send it to both of them, said, thank you very much, I'm going to look into it. So that is a very good thing that, ministers are taking. And in the meantime, I did reach out to the First Lady, Arya Ali, and we are preparing to have her maybe in a very short while. On Friday, we are going to, of course, have Yog Mahathir back. And then we could probably have a couple of ministers as well. I've asked them, and they're busy all around the country. I think, like I said before, Infernali as the president is leading his cabinet by example. He was on Berbice last week. It's a good thing. They need to listen to the people. They need to hear what they're saying. Because people got a lot of complaints, and unless you're on the ground to really understand it, you're not going to be able to understand it in office. You could recall over the last couple of months, many complaints coming in, not only NIS, but normal pension, things with the information is not reaching to people, or people not paying attention, whatever it is. The people need an outlet to get their complaints out to. So thank you very much for that, folks. Do we happen to have a call online? Yes, let's go to the calls. Already calls today. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello? Yes, good afternoon, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I can't find out concerning this liquor restaurant. You could give me an idea, like, what you could do, how you could open, or if you could open.
All right. Where you live in?
Essequibo Coast.
Essequibo Coast. Well, the first thing that you would have to do, there's an NDC in that area, or the RDC?
NDC.
NDC. Right. So you would have to put out a plan to the NDC with where you expect to put this this liquor shop or this liquor license shop.
No, we got the shop already, but remember since the COVID, like me here back if they say.
Oh, okay. You want to know how you could open and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you could open a shop where you have people could come in and drink. Will you have a rum shop or a shop people could go in and drink?
Yeah.
A bar. You have a bar.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I don't think they're allowing people. You're not supposed to. Although people I'm seeing they're doing it all over the place.
The whole course, that is why you find it out.
Right. A lot of people breaking the laws and the police not doing anything, or the police taking payoff, because the police are passing up and down there every single day. You know what can be done.
Open, so that's why I decided for call you for find out, because the other night I went up the coast and I right through I see all the liquor bars them open. So I want to know if somebody they can go ahead and me in here, but
my brother, I tell you, don't break the law. Try to find out. If you want to take the chance to open, do it in such a way, right?
Find out.
Yeah. You can ask the police station too in your area if you can, and if you know of a couple places that are opening, you take the picture and you take it to them and ask them, because I think you have a legitimate case. You said, look, these people have been open last night, they're opening every night. Can I open? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you could do it. I can't tell you to open because I know there's some restrictions on the opening of it. That even if you have a little restaurant or a coffee shop, the people can't be in there.
Okay.
So, but for started with that case there, I'm going to get some clarifications maybe from the police too as to what exactly is happening here. I'm going to try to bring them on so they could be able to tell us what is it that you can and cannot do.
Good. One other thing.
Yes.
It got a fence by me here. So where these people Maserati build this fence, right?
This is Supanam area?
Yeah.
Yes.
This fence is like 20 feet high.
Uh-huh.
It's not a problem. Yes, it's a nice fence. But from the public road comes straight to the back street. And the one from the public road, it fall down about 10 years now.
Uh-huh.
Fall and it break up the neighbor front step. It fall on she front step and break. And this fence in front by me here, it crack. And if it fall by here, so it go break me front step plus like half of me house.
Did you point it out to the Maseralis?
Yeah, I went in at the NDC 2 times. I went when was PPP time, and I go back when was afternoon time, and they said they write them, and they didn't get back no reply, and they just...
All right, I think the Maseralis, those are the same people that own the Air Services Limited.
Yes,
They have an
yes.
operation, I think it's Yaqub Ali and the others. What you could do for me is pick up the phone and call them there. Talk to Anita Arjun or even Mazhar Ali or even Mr. Yaqub Ali and says that I did raise this issue and you guys are not looking at it. Could you do that?
Yeah, I could do that, yeah, because this fence, it cracked me, and you know when you...
No, start working on it. As you know, sometimes communication is a difficult thing because we believe that people don't want to respond. But Ted, you could tell them that you call us here, and I advise.
For them.
Pardon?
I don't have a number for them to get onto them.
It's the Air Services. Just ask anybody who got a directory there, man. I don't happen to have a directory right now, but it's Air Services Limited is the Ogle Airport that they're located. I could probably, let me see if I get a number for you right now. 1 second, Air Services. 1 second, I could probably get it to you right now, and maybe Air Services. And you ask to speak to Anita Arjun or one, and they're very approachable folks. Okay, 1 second. 222
222.
1234.
222 1234.
Yes, sir.
1234. You got it?
Yes, I give it to you there. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you very much. So, in the meantime, you could send those messages to 62222. I want to say good day to the folks down on the Essequibo coast, on the Essequibo area there, Region 2. How it is that you're doing? Fort Island, all the islands within the Essequibo River there. Wakenham, Leg 1, wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing today, I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Raise your head, do not down your head. Put your shoulders square and let us start moving. Things are looking bleak, money is not coming in, but let's start doing a little thing that could improve our life. Let's not demand, let's not be asking anything. Yes, government has to give us something. If they don't have it, what do? Do you stop your life? We have to start using those gray matters that we have in our heads. To start thinking, how can we improve? How can we make it? How could we make something happen? Well, if you, like I said before, there's a little couple things that you can do to basically bring down your expenses. Number one, if it is that you're buying a lot of greens and you don't happen to have a farm, start doing something around your yard. You could bring down some money, save some money there. If it is that you have a light that is on that you're not supposed to keep on during the day, should not be keeping on, take it off. I mean, these are little things that you could do. If it is that you have been going to the rum shop every week and you're not getting an income, where you getting the money to go to the rum shop? Cool it. Have some discipline. Let us see, because these are tough times. Many countries, I did read something, many countries are finding it very hard. A lot of them would have seen about almost 60-70% of their economy being wiped out because of the COVID-19. A lot of the Caribbean countries included that depend on tourism. How are they going to recover? Because nobody's traveling, and so they don't plant anything. Trinidad has that problem. They're doing a lot of manufacturing. But the oil, Trinidad, somebody wrote yesterday, Trinidad is importing oil. They're importing oil into the country because their refinery has been closed to meet their demands. They're importing oil. One of the biggest oil producing countries in the world, catching itself right now, Venezuela. All their people are streaming out of that country now. There's a big civil issues going on there. So when you look at Guyana right now, we're still ahead of the curve. We're still doing a little far better. Government is giving out something. I'm not saying that I'm defending government, but I'm just saying what the situation is right now. Because when you look at it, a lot of other countries can't do that. We can't compare ourselves to the United States. We could point out what it is that they're doing, and we could wish for us to be in a situation where we could be a little more protected when we have the resources. As of now, we don't have it, so all hands on deck. We can't depend on Air Finale or Barjagdio or Glenlal or somebody or a company to say every year or every month that they could give out something. We have got to start doing that. There's fishes in our place. We got to start learning to catch that. I mean, these things here, a lot of people might be turned off because back in the days, I did point out to what Bornham would have said, start planting. And so, was he stupid? Was he pushing it in another direction without giving the people any kind of empowerment through resources, maybe bank loans and so on? Was his approach wrong? Maybe we have to start going back, because when you start building that in-house capacity, you could be able to do so much more things. We have a food bill right now within the CARICOM area. These are all the countries within the CARICOM area of about $4 billion US annually. $4 billion US. Suppose Guyana get a couple of dollars out of that, we could provide those kind of food. Maybe we could plant some potato. We bring a lot of potato into this country. Why? Why we bring potato? I understand up in Berbice, somebody was able to grow grapes the other day. We growing cauliflower, we growing carrots, we growing so many things here. It is right about now, it's just about 1:30 in Guyana, and it's the insurance time. And so it's a CARICOM insurance time. You could follow us on Facebook for special deals for all your insurance needs today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent on Orinoco Streets. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM Insurance, and that is at this time here. That's where you go for your insurance needs. Do we have callers on the line there? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Harry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Man, I quite know. Man, I got a problem with GRA.
GRA.
GRA is a financial institution.
Uh-huh.
And GRA is dealing with any product that's coming into this country and any goods. When you go to do a driver's license, they're waiting until when you reach up, your final process before you go and pay, before they tell you got to get a photocopy. Now, the same youngster that when I ask if you get this license photocopy, the same youngster could stand up right there with a photocopy machine, a photocopy. It's GRA. They could buy a photocopy machine and put it in the car now. But you know what? These people just like this backward system. They just enjoy when people punishing and struggling, and they in charge. GRA should not be doing something like GRA could afford to put a photocopy machine downstairs. Why they waiting? So don't care what part of this country you come from. When you reach up to get his license, before you go and pay, you got to wait. If the youngster tell you, it can be one of the girls telling you that you got to go and get his photocopy. No, you got to come out the whole process and go to such a place to go and get it photocopy. This foolishness GRA doing.
I think the system is bad there, and maybe we'd have to chat with them, because I think before you could even start going into the line there, somebody should say, do you have all your documents? Do you have this? What are you here for? Somebody should be vetting the people before they do that. I agree with you. Don't wait until you till up there. And when you come back, you have to join back the whole line again?
Yes.
No, man, that's madness.
If you don't make nice and push it,
Uh-huh.
you won't walk to the front again and put you back at the back of the line.
No. I would have to chat. I don't probably agree with you that GRA should be, if you got a photocopy and things like that. No country want to be saddled with extra costs. So what happens? You look at all over the American, the United States. They have
You don't have to be in agreement with me, but here why I say you should get. They do a lot of refurbishing work, and you go to the Auditor General. You can see they got excessive. You can see they got variation, and excessive money spent in the contract.
I agree with you. We're wasting too much.
Some of these things you just try covering for these people. Look at the next one, right? Look now, the land snatch. Look at this. I can share my view as a citizen.
Yes, sir.
Now the land snatch, the buyer. The police snatch the buyer for this land at Peter's Hall, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you snatch the buyer, I tell you the same thing is transpiring in the court. But look at this. You really think Nandalal, you think Jagyo, Infanali, Sheikh Bash, and them, you think they're interested in any Afro-Guyanese owning the level of land? But it's only because they want to get the people, make you see they snatch these two in your fella. But listen to this. Just how the transaction went down.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Here,
You believe this thing? You believe? I want to think this because this is a topic we will have to be discussing whether we like it or not. It's not taboo. I've seen too many people raising the issue that the PPP or both sides, the APNU on one side don't want to see Indian people get up. On the other side, the PPP don't want to see people get up. Is that your belief as well?
No. Here. This is fact. These the things that we were discussing during the 5 months period, right? We didn't have a chance to get on board with it because York left. For whatever reason, he left. But then he come back with full fire. I had me doubts with he, but I got me question for he. So whenever I get to he on the program, I can pose me question. But there's things that I like. One of the things that I really like that he advocated, he speak to the ground man recently when he come back. One of the things he speak about, he said, go to the technical institute, get a paper, know things. Guyana going to be something totally different in the next 3 years. I applaud you for that. But I'm telling you, upon a level playing field, the level of land that sell recently under little jiggery pokery, the level of land, the Indians them in authority, they don't want no African required kind of land. And listen to this. Just how to snatch the buyers is the same thing that's going on in the High Court with ordinary building. You know what to them get buildings like that? They got a lot of people that buy house from the court, right? They never went and pick up the document at the court. But how it's set up at the court, it's set up at the court as though they're standing as a representative. So if you snatch the buyer, you could get onto it, and they got a lot of people. You will see them being this. And you recently, I ain't holding you accountable. There's a lot of, you know, Shami used to say Indian people, I got a tendency like white chicken. You know, a lot of people now, they be into this, but they just relax in the system. They say, man, it's an old thing, man. This is how it's going along. Well, we left this land with transact the other day.
No. We got to change our attitude with that. We have to. It cannot be business as usual. You believe that we should continue this? I want a better life for my children. I'm not sure whether you have kids, sir, but I want a better life for my kids.
But now we deal with one of the High Court too.
No, of course, like these are things, and I'm glad that you raised this because look, this is real talks here, you know, man. This is real talks that you're having, and let's don't talk about it. Let's don't hide it and say, look, it's sexual abuse is not happening, that domestic violence is not happening, thieving in the High Court not happening. Let's bring these issues out. Let's have a discussion on it. We cannot continue where you have a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing that you're talking to people and say, he's my friend, I can't really talk that. No. If you're there and you're representing me, let's bring them out. Let's shame these people. What's wrong with that?
That's why I'm telling you, right? That's why I'm telling you this. I'm not squeezing your head up in terms of...
No. I like it, man. I like it. You could criticize me.
They got a lot of people that buy property from the High Court. They don't know that their name just standing as a representative. And once you snatch the buyer, just how this thing happened big, and you snatch the buyers, the buyers could only tell you what they know and what transpire, and the police can get down to it, and they're going to bring the whole perpetrator. And the big heads that after, because I know and you know that the authority into it because they want to get the people. I ain't in agreement with the way it's held, because for me, they could have enhanced Guyanese with it by giving them the land when they went into office.
I don't agree, period, with that transaction, because I did not know that the land was up there. I didn't know that somebody could buy it for $1 or $200, and I didn't know that there were lands available there. I totally disagree with it, and if they did that, if NISL is involved with it, somebody should be jailed. And let me tell you this, my friends are involved with it. And if they did wrong, they got to go to jail.
But here, secondly, I want to do the same thing at the High Court. Because
course.
I'm telling you, because a lot of people buy property from the High Court, they never went and checked the document at the court. The document at the court is just as if they're standing there, that they put somebody to represent the interest. But there's nothing on the side. But the police could snatch the buyer and they can get down there and this stupidness could be sorted out. But they're sleeping on it. So I'm not penalizing no particular individual. But yes, there's much more to this and more that I would like to discuss. But I want to discuss it as a team because there's not nothing to hide behind.
No, don't hide this country. Let us bring it out there and let's see where it goes.
I want to speak realistic. Like Rhea said, there's some things we ain't gonna get over overnight.
No.
So, like for instance, Rhea was speaking upon this same race topic, and even they wanted to have a conversation after the COVID watch and the election watch. But as I said, for whatever reason, he left. But as he come back with fire, and one of the things, another thing, and like he said these fellas only about the self and full in the pocket, and it's time the nation wake up. So, like I said, I got meetings for you when I catch you in the program, but this is to you now. One of my main concern in saying this, because they can get down to the bottom of the land, and they're selling the land, and they're going to put people before the court.
They have to go before the courts. No way $200 for no way you could have it $200. Not only that, though, they didn't even advertise. You knew? I did not know. Not even in the newspaper. No. You see, when you see these stories come out, and you know, Petersall, my cousin bought a piece of land there, a plot of land in Republic Gardens for $8 million about 5 years back. You could imagine what it's selling for. None is available right now. So when you have a 20 acres and a man gets it for $200, you shut your mouth and sit down there. You believe I would sit down there and shut my mouth? No way, man. No way.
So we definitely need to deal with it upon both ends. The only we deal upon it upon one end because Nanalal got some form of influence over the High Court and he could do call in the police and the High Court.
I think let's see where it goes from here. The subject is in the public's domain at the moment. I think these are issues we should be very scared about, be very angry about, be very animated about. When we see lands being given away in the hinterlands, when you see foreigners coming and taking out our lands without us knowing, being given citizenship without there being a clear procedure, without Guyana benefiting. And let me be very clear, I have no issues with foreigners coming in here. We have to be very protective of our own force. We have to set it up that we protect our own, that you can come in here. Like you can look at a Ponzi scheme, for instance, and you're on the line. The guy came in here, married a local. 17,000 persons are in jeopardy now because their life savings. People are ashamed to talk about it. I could talk about it. And guess what? Guess what? Somebody has been paid off because there's no way you could tell me.
This whole thing, listen, this whole thing is a kickback thing, Glenn got quiet in terms of this whole aisle structure. But then, if you look at it, the laws of Guyana, with the politicians have failed to amend, that could benefit this nation. The investors, they come in and take advantage of it. And they got a handful of people.
My brother, thank you very much. I think you've raised some issues.
50 million, we didn't know anything about building roads. But listen to this. This is the time. You see like how Glenn chose to stand up and you opening your voice and you got this fellow, we need Kamarking or whatever it be. You didn't need to get a mobilized team. Numbers is strength, You see how Glenn Lal started as an individual to expose this ideal. He started as an individual. If one or two Chinese, that's numbers. It could grow over a period of time. We got to get a young team to get into politics and get this system working. If we don't get a young team, as York said it the other day, these guys is just about their own interests and they can got a handful of people who got tons and tons of money. You see like how we got 11.5 tons of cocaine and we got $78 billion we're spending. Just now they got a kind of money even in the U.S. we're spending in this country. And Guyana money don't spend nowhere, it's spent right in this country. But there's a handful of people consistently keep...
But we got to stop that. We got to start changing the landscape. We have to change the financial landscape. We have to change the political landscape in which more people could have a bigger piece of the pie. Thank you very much, sir.
You enjoy the evening.
You too. So, gentlemen, they're very straight up, very real talk, and whether you might not like it or agree with it, that is what democracy is in this country, and that's something that we should foster all sides of the conversation, and we could have a good conversation, good debates on issues that affect us, debate on issues that would see our resources being taken away, being yanked from us without us having a very good opportunity of also benefiting. And why should you not benefit from a piece of the gold bush? Why can't you benefit from a sandpit? Why can't you have a truck running in a contract to provide transportation services to the oil and gas? Why is it that you can't do something when they bring a new harbor bridge that a couple of your vehicles can be providing something that you could go to the bank? Look, I just got a contract to provide sand and stone for the new harbor bridge. I want some money, and this is a contract. And these are things that uplift your life, that allows you to build capacity. Big words, right? All it simply means you want to make a couple of dollars, yes, you get a little contract. Put it down there in layman's term. So we go straight to what our people are saying here today. Very hot show in terms of what we're talking about. There should be anger. I want to see anger in your voice. I want to see anger in your system. Because why? We should not, I get worked up because when every single day people complaining about how hard they're having it, and we could do so much better. Why? Because we all the time we sat back, we fold our hands, we sit back, we have our little rum, and we have our conversation. The politician is not doing that. David Granger, he's very aloof. He's standing there and he doesn't meet the people. Bar Jack there, he does that. Raphael Trotman, he does that. What are you doing about it? Simple as that. Good day, sir, to you, your boss and listeners. I was having a conversation with an educated friend, and he mentioned that Mr. Glenn Lal's stance is just his fight to help us out of poverty. But Mr. Lal is fighting a losing battle because a lot of Guyanese will back down when the right time comes. Because we divided down racial lines. Sorry, I feel a bit disappointed, but I'm hoping for the best because I have feelings Mr. Glendale will be victorious because he has a purpose in life and we shall overcome. Well, I don't believe that our people at this stage are going to sit back. I do have a good feeling that we are going to stand up to the oil companies and we are going to say to them, and I think the government also are beginning to have a good feeling about it too, because when you go in there and you sit and listen to these companies when they come in and they talk to you, it's as if, no, you can't change these deals that you've done. It's a done deal. We've signed on to it. You have signed on to it. Well, let me tell you this. If it's like Trinidad leader Keith Rowley would have said, he said to the oil company, he says, if you have a deal and it benefits one party, is it a good deal? And why is it that you should have a deal that benefits only you? That's by extension me putting in those words. Wake Up Guyana here right now on Kaieteur Radio. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Good work, but some poor call for a simple matter. Let's talk about our Guyana. Let's do something to help develop our land. I'm with a caller. I am willing to be part of this change for Guyana. Tell the boss to call me 800-994. Thank you very much. So let me tell you. When you have Guyanese already, that is fire in the chest, fire in the stomach, fire in the guts. It's really time to wake up, because when you see the madness that happens on the road, you allow police officers to dictate to you. You allow leaders, NDC leaders, to tell you how you should live your life, while they sit down there and they take the position and they do absolutely nothing. They have a lot of outstanding taxes. The roads are in a mess. I drive down Diamond Road. There's a pothole that's been there for 3 weeks now. I have said not a word. I divert from it after dropping into it. I noted where it was and I'm not saying anything. Guess what? NDC people live in Diamond and they're driving up and down. Are they going to take any note that there's a pothole at the side of the road that could damage people's vehicle? I'm saying absolutely no word on it. I'm just putting it out there. I hope that there's some actions that they're driving along and they could take note. Because if they're not taking note, they need to get out. They need to go home, because they're not doing the job at the end of the day. Let's talk. Real talks here today. Good afternoon, Mr. Leonard. I'm a resident of Golden Grove. My problem today is that directly opposite where I live, a chicken business is being operated, and I cannot open my windows or doors in peace because there's a lot of flies. In addition to this, they're also raising the chicken in the yard, which contribute to the problem. Can you get a Diamond Grove NDC sanitary to look into the matter? I'd like to remain anonymous. Let me see who this person is. No, sir. you would have to start doing that. What you would have to do, I don't know where the location is, that's one. And two, as a citizen, in this particular case, you would have to, you're the one who, you cannot remain anonymous, wanting me to fight you, fight for you to your neighbor. What I want you to do is fight for us as a country. I want you to write the NDC, write Nigel Damlal, write the RDC, and write the newspaper. I'd love to publish it, but don't ask me to remain anonymous. With all due respect to you, I understand that maybe some neighbors are bullies, but I want you to start having that fire in your belly. So in this particular case, I would object to that, and I want you to wake up and smell the coffee. There's a Wake Up Guyana show. I want you to start fighting with us. All right? Leonard Allahu Akbar, I hope I'm saying it right. No way in the world can you buy land for $100 or $200. Where are these Shylock lawyers and snake oil conspirators in the land of El Dorado fleecing Guyana from their birthright? Cubans in Guyana turning Ponzi schemes in Guyana think that they're so smart. Chinese building and occupying lands in Guyana, we just sit back and complain. COVID-19 is here to stay and we're eating fried rice. Let's try to get rid of that fried rice mentality and develop ourselves. Otherwise, cat will eat our dinner. And yes, come back to the Ponzi scheme. 2-3 months. I'm not hearing the voices of the people who went out and they're asking for this company here to be released, the officials. 17,000 people. We got to be idiots in our country here. And you might not like what I'm saying to you. I'm not sure when people come and say that I'm going to give you 600% or 40% or 60% returns on your money. And then you ask yourself, why isn't the United States of America jumping into this? Why is Canada not jumping into this? This is such a big thing. These guys are coming in making serious money. Is the people in the United States who are some of them so dirt poor they could barely, they could barely pay the rent at the end of the month. Why are they not investing in this? They should be coming together and invest in schemes like these. But no, you wanted the man to be out of jail so he could settle his money. It's been 2 months now. Wake up and smell the coffee. Ponzi scheming there. These are things. What is the police doing? A man told me this morning, he's been coming a couple of weeks, and I told him to please go see William Ramlal, and he is the head of the police complaints authority there in Gildarie. The man says, I had some money, just over $100,000 in my Superbet account. And let me tell you how this country is a jokey country. Very angry about it today. Went to the police. Somebody went into his account. Somebody from Superbet, he's a legend. And took the money out because they went with the phone, with the money is in the phone. And he says, it's not a lot of money, but, it's there. For me, it means a lot. And so he went to the police to try to get back that money. And every day the police, back and forth, several months now. They know who the people are involved. And the police dragging the foot. Police at CID headquarters, get your act together. The people coming to you and the people are saying that you don't understand. You're getting them dragging around, you're pushing them around and all kinds of things. I tell them, please go see William Ramlal and complain about the slackness and the sloth of the police at Gildarie this morning. He should be doing that. I hope that he go do. People want to come and they want to come to the newspaper to do their job. You got to start doing it too. We got to start taking it up. We got to start opening our mouths. Why should 2 people stand up? One newspaper man, a Glenn Lal standing up an entire establishment, like ExxonMobil, a multinational company that has his operating costs alone covers the budget of several countries around the world. One man alone or one newspaper standing up against these people. Why can't we do our own, song and dance kind of stories at the end of the day where we carry who murder who robbing who hold a knife to somebody's neck? We could continue doing our stories like that and everybody's going to be happy. At the end of the day, we're taking on the fight for the entire Guyana. Wake up and smell the coffee, right? Wake up and smell the coffee. Do we happen to have another call? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm calling concern this Christchurch school.
Christchurch, so this is in Camp Street?
Yes. I have 2 kids going there, grade 9 and 10. When the day come, they just get 1 subject a day online classes. I don't know where really going on.
What is it that they want?
The online classes.
You want to send your kids to the school?
No, they're going to the school, but with the government, she says she's giving them online classes. They only getting like 1 subject, some day no subject. So I don't.
No, I don't understand. If they're going to school and then the teacher also want to give them online classes.
No, they're not going to school. They're home on the COVID
Uh-huh.
problem.
Uh-huh.
And the minister says they're going to have online classes. But someday they have no class, someday one subject.
I don't know. I did message Priya Manichan, who seems all about the place. She's very busy because this thing here is really a big problem. They got some serious issues. They don't have the money because we're talking about 108 something thousand students. That's the figure that she gave to me. Now they don't have the tablets to give to everybody. That's one.
No, we don't need the tablet.
Right.
We have their own tablet.
Right, but you have an issue. A lot of kids don't have access to internet. People barely got money to eat. So how do you create a system that is gonna allow one teacher to teach all those students when half of them don't have internet? Some of them don't have access to devices like phones or a laptop.
What I'm trying to say that someday they don't have no subject.
Yes, and that's the issue that they have. And the teachers, I'm not sure what is happening. Like, I pay attention. I have two kids, both of them doing online classes in the morning. I get up sometime and I get so mad with them. I see them lying down in bed. They were the phones in the hand and they're doing classes. I said, get yourself up, get into the bathroom. I mean, it's teaching us a kind of laziness within our people, and it's not a good thing. But what is the answer? My question to you, what is the answer? Because I understand what you're saying there, that some of the teachers are dropping the ball.
Yeah, one of them is in grade 10. Next year, the other year, he's doing 60.
Yes, and I can't understand. And if you are in a secondary school, I think those things goes by subjects, by periods.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
you're supposed to have the other teachers. So when you have a one class per day, we have an issue there, especially if you're doing online classes.
So I don't know what's going on.
Well, one of my kids is going to Diamond and they having classes regularly during the day. So Christchurch is a
Not
big...
with Christchurch.
Well,
Not
something
with
is wrong there. I'm going to raise this issue here, but it is something I'm getting very upset when a little upset every single day when I'm seeing things like this. I don't think our people really have the drive, because why? They want everything to be given. Even the teachers are dropping the ball now. Some good teachers out there, a lot of good people, professionals in this country, but there's some others. If nobody's paying attention, they can't do the work. Nobody's taking the initiative. I thank you very much for that.
Okay.
God bless. So in the meantime, while that person, I think, let me read some other questions here, some comments rather. I'm from Region 3 West Coast, Demerara, and it began 8 months. We bar owners on the lockdown, and nobody's saying anything to us to have the bars open in Georgetown and on the seawall also. Some bars on the West Coast. And the police only go to some people. Mr. Watts have his own bars. Mr. Watts, your name calling here. The commander, he has his own bars. People, you don't close down. And I don't want to know that the government doing about... I want to know what government is doing about bar owners. Electrical finish and the elected officials... Elections finish, and the elected officials finish with us till next 5 years. We have a life like every other citizen in Guyana. Water bill, light bill, food stuff, mortgage. What the government want, we want the bar owners to do. What the government want the bar owners to do. So I think, however this person typed this, it probably auto-correct. But we have the gist of it. The bar owners on the west coast of Demerara in Region 3, they're asking what is happening to the bar owners. Well, I think we can't have a situation where while people are not supposed to be in bars drinking. That's the first thing. The COVID-19 regulations are the measures making it very clear. Sell your beer, sell your rum, and let the people get out of there and go somewhere else and drink, not by the bars. Are you being allowed to do that? I don't have any idea or any clue how you're doing it. But I don't think there's a situation where you could allow people into your bar. Second thing is, the police are allowing a lot of people to operate all on the seawall, all over the place. You're sitting down there, you're sitting down close, as if you're very intimate with that other person. And life goes on as normal, and there's nobody monitoring, nobody taking charge, everybody's passing and seeing except the police people. Soesdijk Linden Junction Highway there. Every single week I receive something. Guess what? The pictures and the videos that I got it, and police headquarters, if you're listening, the people are talking about the Soesdijk Linden. I sent it to the police WhatsApp group, the pictures and the videos that the people sent me over the weekend. For the umpteenth time, I've been raising this issue here. The police have not seen it fit to respond to say, Mr. Gildarie, And I did ask, I said, could you respond to this? Mr. Juno or whoever it is there, I'm going to be sending him a message or have a conversation with him a little later. Did not see it respectful, to find it respectful enough to even acknowledge that I sent him something. So they don't care. The police pass every single day. See who's doing what. See who are the ones breaking the laws or breaking the regulations or the COVID-19 measures, whatever you want to call it. You think you got my gist. Doing absolutely nothing with it. And the police force coming out, we doing something for Christmas. We're going to put 2 people here, 2 ranks at Regent Street, 2 ranks at King Street. And those are the things. But in the meantime, nobody's talking about fighting crimes. Nobody's talking about when the people call, no vehicles are there. Nobody's talking about passing up and down every day while some can't operate, some are operating. Where are we headed? What are we doing? Somebody got to be sleeping at the wheel. So before we go back to the lines again, let me read a couple of messages. We got to get the people their voices out here. I hear what you're saying there. In over 2 months now, the few street lights in Block D1, Bat, Barbados are now working. Call was made to the MPI. Nothing was done. Residents are appealing to you to assist. All right. I'm going to send this. This is Block. Let me send this right away now to Leonard. Yes. Good. All right. I'm going to look after that issue here. I'm going to send it to them again. I'm interested. Okay, somebody's interested in learning about Kaieteur Radio. Hello, Leonard. I just heard the ladies asking about online classes. Myself and friends have online class on Saturday, but we start with maths only. Let us check out the webpage on BRIEE.org for more information. Thank you very much there from Andrew. This is online classes for Saturday. It is BRIEE.org, those who are interested. Good afternoon. I'm a parent that have kids going to private school. I'm glad that our children can have school vouchers. If our children can have school vouchers at a private school, because we all Guyanese, and we also need a good drainage in Plantation, Prophet, West Coast, Berbice. Since the previous president, we call in the NDC at Belladrum and nothing was done as yet. Also with the online classes, it's hard to get internet. So we're asking for something to be done to us as poor people with the internet. A good thing is the buses on the road filling up with filling up the buses and the police doing nothing. So this one statement coming from this person has raised so many issues. Online classes, the lack of drainage, the absence of proper internet, so many things that one person is saying there. Fortunately for us in Diamond, and let me tell you what's a good community that if we talk about good communities to live in, that should have some basic infrastructure in place: roads, lights, water, internet, shops, and that's one place in Diamond. But many places, and we're not even going to the hinterlands area, which there's an absence. Children, like one person I think was talking about, I think in somewhere up the Pomeroon, the guy went there and the guy was talking that when he went there, the children, he was complaining about the absence of school. And I want to bring this over to you, how some of our children, some critics are going to say, some skepticals are going to say, yeah, let it come out on the coast or somewhere where they could have schooling. But I'm just going to tell you how some people live. They get a kid leaving early in the morning to travel 4 hours, paddle 4 hours. When they reach the school, it's 10 o'clock. Then they got to leave 1 o'clock so they could come back home. They did that for a couple of mornings and realized that they're becoming too tired to stop going to school. I hope that I've left you there with something to tune in to talk about. And there's going to be people all over the world struggling. But remember that when we complaining about things, that there's some people out there who are even suffering it more. Two sides to every story. Do we have another caller? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. We don't happen to have a caller, but what I could tell you is right about now, it is the CARICOM insurance time. Follow us on Facebook for special deals for all our insurance needs today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Ornock Streets to better serve you. You can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. And so we are going to go back. Do we have a call on line? 226-7453. 226-7453. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Good work. But some folks call for simple matter. Let's talk about our Guyana. Let's do something to help develop our land. I'm going to call. I'm willing to be part of this change to Guyana. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to pass that message on to Mr. Lal. I'm living on the east bank of Demerara. I'm renting and I work on the east coast from 6 to 6, Monday to Friday. I won't be home to collect my $25,000 grant. How do I go about to get the $25,000? Thank you very much for that question, dear. I think you should talk to your NDC that is in the area. Find out when these people are going to be there, and you'd have to make some arrangements. Either the people, you go meet the people, or you get away from work. I'm sure that your workplace could allow you to get away for a couple hours or an hour or two for you to pick up your money, or you could take the day off. But you need to talk to the NDC in the area. When and where are these people going to come? They have not come to the East Bank of Demerara or in Region 4 at this time. So I presume you have some time, but talk to your boss. It is important, and it's something that you have to pick up. Hi, sir. Good day. Please advise me what to do. This is the street I live in with thieves hiding them cars and rob people. This is Loziknan Golf Course Road, and so the people are complaining. They are the Loziknan Golf Course Road. The people are complaining. I think this is the road that also leads to the Loziknan prison. And there's a lot of old cars parked alongside of the road. Why do we continue to do that? If you don't want to keep the cars, drive it somewhere, dump it somewhere. Why do you drive it and just dump it along the roadside? I mean, we got to stop with this nonsense, with this dirtiness, with this nasty behavior that we have in this country. You know, I live here, let me put some old cars, let me put some old junk in front of the road there because that's the place. Nobody's going to complain. It's, let me see, there's another one here. Good afternoon, Leonard. Please let us know where Eccles residents have to collect their pension book. Nothing published as yet. I am going to try to get some information on that and get back to you. Do we have a call online? Good afternoon, caller. Go right ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Could you lower your radio, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Leonard.
Yes, it is.
Sir, I just want to let you know, this thing here, when I see what's going on at Forest Selling and all the NDC area with Loziknan, with his old car, them, for me, this caused by the NDC.
The box stops with them. The box stops with them.
Because them irresponsible for the community, them responsible for the village. And the nonsense for them going on with them, get some friends and family that can do this old, way call it, junkyard business. Loose up the old vehicle and move out where you want and left the rest on the road corner. This is nonsense going on all over in this country, all over. And the NDC is to blame for it. Simple like horse telling. You tell me when the NDC don't know about what's going on out there. When the first time somebody put on a little hot, you're supposed to go and say, look, this is wrong.
You know why that's happening? Because you have rangers, you have overseer. You got to ride around the community. The people that give you there, you got to go around the community. And you got to be there every once a week or twice a week or whatever it is that you're doing in the office. 1 day for office work, but 2 days to monitor the village. Surely you would have seen that people squatting on the river dam that back there and people would have been seeing. But no, nobody's working. Everybody wants to, it's very difficult for people to come out and say, look, I didn't even know this was happening in my community and you're part of the NDC. What does that say about you? I mean, how do you explain that to somebody? I'm living here. I didn't know such somebody squatting there. So then what are you doing? You're in the wrong business.
Yeah. And look, the NDC also got a lot of fault. You get these DNI people cleaning the drain, the gutters them. Just pull out the stuff from the gutter, leave it by the road corner. Tomorrow morning, the cow come and whatever animal come wrong, and they start to graze, everything gone back into the gutter. It doesn't make any sense. How can you remove stuff from your sink and leave it right in the sink at the corner, remove it from the drainage pipe and leave it in the sink in the corner of the sink? When the water open back from the top, what's going to happen again?
I don't even, yes, it is a big issue. I thank you for those issues that you've raised there. And these are things that we got to bring out. We got to criticize them. We got to shame people. It's simple as that.
Thank you, Bud.
Thank you very much, dear. And somebody is asking here on WhatsApp here. They're saying good morning. So just concerning the $25,000 went to the RDC to ask about it, and they said the money gone back. Can you follow up? How do you send back the $25,000 and you don't go back to the place? Is it a one-time thing? Historically, if the people not home, you send back the money. Did you ask them what you did not say here, sir or madam, is whether they indicated now that they gone back to Georgetown, how is it that you could get access to that money? Did you ask that? You did not tell me that, and I don't know the answer to this. I did reach out to some Ministry of Finance folks, and I can get back that person there for them to come on the radio. You know, we open it up, but they are teams in various areas going out. I'm not sure if they make a one-time pass, whether they're supposed to pass back, but a lot of people come. Everybody who was asking about $25,000, they're not asking it about it anymore. I presume they're very happy that they would have received their monies, and they're not calling Gildarie again but complaining. But they're also not calling him to say, you know, I received it. Some people have been doing that, texting me and say I received my money. But you need to call us and tell us what your experience like and what you hear in the village here. You cannot just allow it to lie just like that. This is the only way that we can continue to raise the bar for us to raise our levels of services in this country when it comes, whether it's coming from the state or it's coming from the private sector. So I'm going to have to try to find out a little more about that. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I'm concerned by the high cost of transportation on the Escobar Coast. It's been 9 months now. Consumers are paying double fares. Again, I'm going to have to send this to the folks there. Maybe I would have to ask the Ministry of Tourism and Commerce there, maybe if they could come down to the area there, because people are complaining. Why is it that car drivers and minibus drivers and so on charging double fares? I'm not hearing anything like that on the East Bank. And so why is it that they're charging double fares? Somebody got to be doing something that they have to raise it. And why is it that the authorities are not looking into this matter here? We've been talking about it for several weeks now. I'm going to send it back again to them. Good afternoon, and I want to say good day to the folks down there on the Escobar Coast, as well as Berbice, Demerara. Can't miss you three. If there's a region, 4 regions in Guyana. There's Escobar, Demerara, Berbice, and of course, there's another region somewhere in North America. A good day to you folks. That is our diaspora communities all across this globe that they live in somewhere. They're tuned into us here on the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio. I want to say good day to you or good evening, whatever time it is. I hope that you are gathering strength, that there's a positive energy about you. There's a positive energy in me today, an energy of change that we could raise, we could push, we could agitate, forcing our authorities to do a little better. We cannot sit down and ask for a new government and not want this government to introduce us to a life which we should see services that are different. We should ask for that change, and every year let us uplift ourselves. Let us get a better car. Let us improve our homes. Let us strive. And these things are, I'm not saying wishful thinking. These are little things that we could strive for, that we could push for. There's nothing wrong with us being ambitious. There's nothing wrong with us asking for a little more. We have to work for it. We have to push for a little more. But you have to put your hands on the deck and push for it too. Cannot do it forever. We cannot do it on our own. Want to see that fire in the belly. Good afternoon. I heard you talking about the Eccles Dump Site Road. A contract, I believe, for $45 million was awarded in January 2020 to repair the road. It was advertised in the newspaper. The contract was awarded and repairs commenced and then stopped just before election. The Ministry of Works needs to check into this contract, and thank you very much for that. I am going to send this to the ministry as well. You know, I like to see things like that when you give out contracts to contractors and they don't perform. I need to know who are the contractors and why is it that you collected my money and not delivering on the project. I need to give you a good day. I need to give you a high five, big up on the radio here. You know, contractors not delivering on the work or being scampish. I'm not sure how it is that you're doing what you're doing and could live with yourself and sleep with yourself when you know that people would have needed your services. The people of Guyana's lives would have been on a better platform had you delivered what you were supposed to deliver, and you don't do it, but you take the money. Isn't that fraud? How do you sleep with yourself? So I want to give you the big up today, wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing. If you know such a contractor, please let us wish them a very good day. You know, we need to give them the big up. If you get my gist, what is it that I'm saying? You tune into the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5. We're also coming to you live on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. Do we have another caller in line? Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller.
It's the Wake Up Guyana show.
It is, and you are on the air at the moment, sir.
Is Mr. Gildarie?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Glad to hear. Congratulations on the program. Very good program. I'm a real listener to you from since the election.
Yes, sir.
And I would like, as a citizen of this country, so let's just giving complaints on the streets. You know, this is a wake-up show, man. You know, let's talk about our development for this country. We need to stick together and get things changed in our country, right? We, the nation, have to participate in decision made, okay, or our wealth. We have to be part of this. We can't do this anymore. We have to give up. We have to go. We have to fight for it, okay? I would like maybe to come on your program a day and we could chat or meet you personal. And you know, there's plenty a lot of things I would like to help us. You know.
No problem, sir. You know that this program here is for the Guyanese people. Whatever it is that they want to say, as long as we keep it within the realm of respectability, that we keep the conversation civil. I don't care whether you attack Gildarie or attack Kaieteur News or Kaieteur Radio. You have that right. But let us keep our conversation for the better of Guyana on that plane.
I appreciate that. But, you know, we Guyanese people are supposed to, you know, we have to educate ourselves better to know what's going on in the country. Because it seems like people just don't care. You know, they making little money or whatever, they have their business, but they don't care what happens to the country, what's going on for family in the country. So we have to educate ourselves better and let us get up, wake up and develop this country, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, dear. And as the gentleman says, dear, let's wake up, Guyana. You should wake up your soul. Start getting angry. Start pushing for a little more because you have to get up. Let's start. In my morning, some days, my days goes until 12, 2 o'clock in the night. When everybody's sleeping, there's so many things that I have to do. I have other duties that is not necessarily radio. I have duties towards Kaieteur newspaper there as well that I have to fulfill every single day. I write a piece for the Sunday's newspaper as well. Sometimes on Friday night, my body is aching. I get up and I have to do it until 12, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then get up next morning, come down, do some editing, do some other stuff that we're doing there, then come back to the radio. It's a day in, day out. That's called discipline. When you're talking discipline, is getting up every single day and do what you have to do. What is also what I deem as stupidity is getting up every single day, doing the same thing every single day, and not seeing a change, and you don't change it. It means that if you're doing the same thing every single day, and you're getting the same results without seeing any progress, then you need to change the things that you're doing. What you need to do is do things differently. If you are very quiet, if you are not agitating your life, if you don't want to see a different results, then you should remain the same place where you are. If you want to do something different, let us get up tomorrow morning. If you don't have food in the house, let us see how we could get a piece of bhaji, a piece of cassava plant, a piece of pepper, whatever it is, some boiled pepper seeds and so on. Plant it, start getting something, get something in the garden, get going. Start making yourself with a little more capacity so you could be able to provide for yourself, cut your costs down. There's no need to go on a vacation right now. There's no need to buy clothes right now. You're not going anywhere. What you need to do is ensure that you keep a few dollars if you have that for tomorrow. Keep it for a rainy day. What we need to do is cut our costs. We need to change the way we live. COVID-19 has taught us to do things a little different. What are you doing differently? Because come next year, Don't expect things to be changed dramatically. COVID-19 is going to be with us. There's going to be some COVID-19 vaccines that's going to come out. Maybe it's going to bring down the numbers. However, at the end of the day, the number of vaccines that has to be produced and be sent off to the different countries for them to give it to the people, would it be enough to reduce the numbers within a couple of months? Or are we going to see this thing continue to the end of next year? Whatever it is, at the end of the day, COVID-19 is here to stay with us. Coronavirus is here to stay with us. And we'd have to live differently. We'd have to do things differently. We'd have to not have the cavalier, indisciplined attitude, laid-back attitude that depends on a handout. Let us don't do that. Yes, we need our help right now. If you can get some help, take it. Open your hands. If the government is offering you $25,000, whether you're parliamentarian, whether you're any citizen, ordinary citizen in this country here, take the money. The government is offering it. You take it. But at the end of the day, you get my point. Have a different kind of way that you do things, because it's the only way that we could start living the kind of life that we should or we should be living, which is like the Dubai kind of life. We could be living the life that Singapore, big countries, Norway, we could be living life like Malaysia, where you have nice roads, clean environment, policemen that work, systems that actually work, and the regulators are doing their job. We could wish for that. And so when something happened, like you buying a piece of land for $200, then when you get an opportunity and you're getting it and nobody else is getting it, you should be angry. And I want to see that kind of energy that is within you. You should be writing letters to the newspaper. You should be calling out your NDC officials. What is it that you have done last? When is the last time that you came through my street and you've asked me what are my problems? When last did you do that, NDC? When last did you do that, Mr. Mayor of Georgetown? Don't get up until the streets are flooded in Waterloo Street, or South Road is flooded for you to get up and put on the long boots and jump in drains, and the photographs are there. What happened to the rest of the councillors? Where are the photographs of the councillors doing what they're supposed to do? Or you're taking the stipend and you go to council once a week or twice a week whenever it's statutory meeting, and you sit down and drink some coffee and all is nice and dandy, and you stand up and you make those very beautiful speeches that means nothing because you haven't done anything to uplift the lives of Guyana. Those are the issues that we need to talk about. Good afternoon, caller. On the air. Go right ahead. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm calling from Berbice.
What part in Berbice?
Firish.
Firish.
Yeah, I'm getting an issue with my light bill, and this bill is keep coming up very high, and what I wasn't home for a whole month, right? And my bill, I collect the bill today, and the bill keep coming the same amount of money that was coming after I come again, and I wasn't home. Don't use no electricity or anything. One light I leave, and that's it. And I called Georgetown this morning, and you know what the girl told me? That when I take off my points, take off my appliance, it's the light, the meter still keep working, so I have to pay that money. I said, come on, I wasn't home. How can I pay all these money, $11,000 something dollars I have to pay every month? I didn't have that appliance to pay.
And these are things that people complaining about day in, day out. I'm trying to get a number up here so I could be able to give it to you here. I think there's a Public Utilities Commission up in Berbice there. Did you try calling them?
No, I called Georgetown, and I talked to a girl, and she was kind of be rude to me, and I told her,
this is
I'm going to call
the Public
Kaieteur
Utilities?
today.
This is
If
a public...
She said, oh, you want to tell me that you're going to call Kaieteur today and tell them? I said, yes, I'm going to tell you. If you didn't do anything, I'm going to call Kaieteur.
All right, here we can do this. Public Utilities Commission, there's one up in Berbice. I can't put my hands on the number right now, but I'm going to give you a number for GPL, PR department. I need them to start doing the work because, I have some good friends here, but we're going to light some fires under the feet because they need to work.
Yes,
Gildarie don't
because
need to
you
do the
don't
work.
have the appliance and they're sending you bills and bills, tons of, and you don't bond that bills, you know.
All right, you guys take note of this number here: 225
To,
1471.
okay, and next thing I want to say about this NDC, my NDC in Firish, he's not doing anything. Our streets are breaking up.
Who are them, village chairman there and so?
I can't tell you his name, but Firish NDC. And he don't come around and see anything. Look, our dam is not good, and full of potholes and muds and nasty. I'm telling you, all the streets are nasty, and he's not coming and do anything. These NDC people need to come around, look around. We paying taxes. We need our things to be good, clean, tidy.
I think that's what Guyanese people want. They
Do
just
you
want
think
us
we're
in
gonna
within.
get a Dubai?
Well, we have to change within ourselves. We cannot expect our leaders to do it by themselves. We should not expect our leaders. We have to start keeping our surroundings clean. We have to start demanding better services. We can't sit down and expect it like me to do it, or you got to start opening your mouth, and you got to get your husband start getting angry, because when you see that you're paying for services or you're paying for something and they give you 6 for 9, like what GT&T was doing for the people since 1990 something, and they're coming back now all smiley and nice.
Right, and the
You know?
bills, the internet bills and everything, GT&T is ripoffing people too.
Major ripoff. I have no apologies to make about that. Now, there's a number for Barbies here that I'm going to give to you. 336 677.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
hold on. Your number up in Barbies is 33 something.
Yeah, 322.
336 677.
Okay.
That is the Public Utilities Commission, and you can complain to them there, okay?
Oh, thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You're welcome, dear. And I want to say good day. Good day to the people down in Firish, and in fact all over Berbice, wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing. I want to say good day to Mr. Peter Lewis, contractor there in Berbice. I want to say good day to Mr. Zamal Hussein, and he is the regional chairman of Region 6 East Berbice area there. I want to say good day also to all the regional health officials there, Dr. Vishwa Mahadio, wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, I hope that we're uplifting your lives today. I want to say good day to the Ministry of Education folks here, Ms. Priya Manik Chan, Minister of Education, and her team there, Kaieteur Ramnarayan, she is the Deputy PS. I want to say good day to Mr. Alfred King, and he is the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance. I know that many teachers are locked in for the lunch hour, or when they have some time. Ministry of Education folks here would have us tuned in as well. Many schools, when they have the time, they are tuned into this program here, listening to us very quietly. We thank you very much for that. We will continue to do our job to deliver on our mandate, which is educating you, to uplift you, to maybe find some resolutions to some of the issues that are bothering us right here on the Wake Up Guyana show. Good day, Uncle Gildarie. I like your passion. Important to hear a program that calls on everyone to be accountable. Thank you very much there. That's it, my friend. Let's do something for Guyana. And so, let me see what else. Hello, Leonard. No need to say this on your. Let me see. We are NGO. We want to give back to the people of Guyana. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My interest is that a year ago, some worker working with BK, and in the end of the year, no bonus. We're all thankful if the workers can start getting it, and if the government cross dam in profit, people planting on it, and our life suck and use a dam. Something need to be done. I think this is profit on the this is West Berbice area. And they're talking about people using livestock to be in the cross dam area there. Raise this matter with the NDC, and you know what? Start sending us those letters, man. You guys got to find the email, kaieteurnews@yahoo.com. And of course, you could get us here, and let's start seeing those letters coming there. As a resident from Belladrum, as a resident from Grove, East Bank, Demerara, man called me this morning there in the Diamond, and I am to have a conversation with the public works officials there again. The drainage behind those banks, big trends going on there. The banks need to do something about it too. It could affect your foundation within those banks, even the areas, that is not very good. It could cause flooding if there's a heavy rainfall. Or so you need to do something as corporates. It's not just about 3 banks in that area: GBTI, Republic Bank, Demerara Bank. What are you doing with the area behind you there? You need to be good corporate citizens. If something is not happening, you need to make it available so something could happen and clean that area there. It's not just about the government alone. Corporate Guyana has to step forward and put the shoulders to the wheel and take responsibility as well. Do not allow it. It's not just about profit, but it is about uplifting the lives of people. That's true about the cash grant on the Escobar Coast. Some people didn't receive any, and when they inquired, were told that the money was returned to the government. Thanks for the good job you're doing for highlighting the problems of the people. Thank you very much, dear. Good afternoon, sir. Any idea when the actual CXC results slip will be out? Our children have not received any. Did you try with the ministry, with the schools, with the Queen's College compound there? The Queen's College compound, and there is a Ministry of Education CXC area there that would have that. Did you call them? Call the Ministry of Education, and maybe they could be able to give you some ideas what's happening. And if not, just text us back, and I would probably delve into it. I'm going to try to find out on my own as well. Good afternoon to Mr. Gildarie Show. Good afternoon. Is this Mr. Gildarie Show? I think I'm not sure why they call me all kinds of name, but it is something. Let me see. Good afternoon. Could you find out the terms, if in terms of COVID-19 cases for Guyana, how many patients successfully made it back after having to go to a ventilator? If any, there's something worthwhile knowing. I don't know. Good question. I'm going to raise this issue here. Before I go back to the lines, good afternoon, Uncle Leonard. This is Angelina Manny. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Angelina. I really appreciate the reaching out. 11 foods that lower cholesterol, Harvard Health. And somebody sent that there. Should get ourselves, in a little better position. Do we have a caller? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Pretty good, man. A lot of energy today. Go ahead.
I heard you make a statement about the contractors and how they're going over and sleep with themselves.
Yes.
That's a big question statement. I think we should ask how politicians are doing it also. You know what I mean? How you able to go home and sleep with yourself? Sometimes I sit down and I talk to myself and I say, who are these people's parents who make them, send them to school, give them a good education, they come out with 20 and 21 subjects, get a job working for $1 million and they're thieving?
Yes, it is. It is. How do you... And, it's not only the politicians, how do you as a rich person, somebody who's made the money off the backs of Guyanese people, sit down in your fancy vehicle every single day and watch people starving or struggling and not want to give a hand? If you got money, I don't work a lot of money, I could tell you that. And some days, a good section or a good part of my earnings goes back to the people. Why? And I shouldn't even be saying this. I don't like to say it. I have a foundation that I don't even use a newspaper to talk about what we've been doing within collaboration with Food for the Poor and so on. Every single month, hundreds of families. But guess what? It makes me feel good. And I go back to your point. How do you sleep with yourself?
You see, and I think that what is happening, Mr. Gildarie, is that when these people are thieving, instead of people do like Mr. Gildarie and Mr. Glenlal and call them out, they're capitalizing on these thieving. It is sad. And the biggest sadness of it is that Muslims are involving in these things. I'm not hearing Muslims are speaking out against these things. It is so sad that Muslims sit back and allow these things.
Well, it's not the Muslims alone, I was looking at a video this morning and I smiled. A pastor was on the pulpit and he was lecturing some other pastors. He said, go out and get a job instead of trying to rob the poor people. And I smiled. I'm not sure whether it's to show how real it is and so on. But guess what? It's not the pastors alone. It's the preachers, it's the priests, it's the pandits, it's the mages, it's all the rest of the religious leaders all across Guyana. They shut them out. And during this time here, I'm not sure I've seen many churches, many mandirs. I know that the Muslims have been doing something. I'm not a Muslim. but I don't see a lot of religious organization reaching out and, at least let's give a hamper here or there, or let's see whether we could have a soup kitchen or something. I'm not seeing anything like that. How do you sleep with yourself?
And that's the question. It was so nice that you could have raised that as a question. How do you sleep with yourself? How you go home and sleep with yourself, knowing that you're living with so much when people are living with so little? It's sad. It's sad. Keep up the good work, man. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm looking at Mr. Glenlal's show, too. Mr. Glenlal is putting up a good fight. I'm hoping that some people can join with him, and we could all fight for what is rightfully ours in this country.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you too, man.
Appreciate it. So here's some comments here. Hi, Leonard. Good afternoon. I live at Monashi, Bagdam. When did they give the $25,000? I'm not sure. They rescinded to the Freedom Hope area. Somebody is saying Monashi, Bagdam. I presume this is somewhere on the west coast, West Bank, maybe East Bank, Essequibo area there. They're saying that they sent it back to the thing. You guys need to find out from there, from the NDC, whoever it is, how do you get access, whether you got to go to Freedom Hope. I need to know. We need to have some answers. A lot of people calling, complaining, raising these issues here. I have absolutely no idea because nobody's saying anything, and I'm not sure how they're dealing with the second phase. Whether if I go through a particular street, when do I go back to the next street? Is it the same day? Am I going back next week? Is anybody that has been filled out with or have filled out the pink forms, whether they have received the monies? I understand that it will go back to cabinet with the amount of monies with the pink forms, because only $4 billion would have been put aside for this exercise here. They have to go back for cabinet, and the cabinet would have to okay some more money for them to come back and pay this $25,000 or whatever it is that they got to pay. Good afternoon, Leonard. I'm from the Mashabo housing scheme. I have a problem. A lot of alcohol and dope smoking, and nobody doing nothing about it. Mashabo housing scheme. Mashabo, what's happening there? What's happening to the community leaders there? The people complaining about the dope smoking and everything else. Somebody saying, Mr. Lal, I'm with you, sir. Thank you very much. Leonard, I'm praying every day for the Commissioner of Police to arrest that woman who cut those boys' neck. We are looking for you, killer. Whose boys? Is it Burby's? That boy's neck? I need to know. I need to know a little more about the story with the boy's neck. Hi, do you have any info about the Ponzi scheme? The information is that there's been dragging afoot on this alleged Ponzi scheme. I got to be very careful before I get sued. I'm not too bothered with that. What I want to know, what is the authorities doing with this? Somebody says that they're moving to yank his citizenship. Well, he's married to a guy, and he's best of luck with that. What I'm wondering, what happened to the people money? Where is the money, Mr. Ponzi? The folks behind this alleged scheme from the accelerated and so on. You guys need to say something. We can't allow you people to come into our country, or we can't allow our Guyanese people to be doing our other Guyanese people that. Good afternoon to the folks down there in North America, to Europe, all across the Caribbean and neighboring countries. Wherever you're from, Norway, good day to you. Wherever you're from, whatever it is that you're doing, I know that you're tuned in here. I hope that your lives have been uplifted, and as we move forward, that we could make Guyana into a better place. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I think the nation have to be part of the decisions making about our wealth. We have to make a law that we, the Guyanese, participate. So wake up, Guyana, and please, I beg the nation to be part of the stand-up for Guyana. Thank you very much for that. Good afternoon. The ultrasound and X-ray machine of the West Demerara Hospital are not working. So this is ultrasound, X-ray, West Dem, not working. I can't say how long, but I know for a month now, a month and a half. What happened to the poor people who can't afford a private hospital? Thank you very much for that. I'm going to send this to Mr. Vishnu Mahadev. Good day, Mr. Gildarie. 41 recovered the St. Cuthbert from COVID with no special attention. Impossible from the former two show. So what is this person saying? Is it that there's some figures that are coming out there that is not good, that is not credible? Need to have some more information there, but we do happen to know that St. Cuthbert's Mission, which is a way out community, was badly hit, and there was, I think it's just over 200 and about 40 persons would have been tested positive in a community that has less than 2,000 persons. You have a community that had 239 per capita. That's very, very high. That's an outbreak. Can you find out when the police or the government will pay the RCs, Rural Constable for Election Day work? We work for hours and then get paid. Ministry of this is the Ministry of Home Affairs. What's happening here? The police force, is it the police or the government? I'm not sure. I would have to speak to Mr. Harry Gill. Mr. Harry Gill, Home Affairs, and these are the RCs. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to send him that message here. Do we have another call in line? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon. You sound very positive. You sound very
you.
positive. A lot of energy there. I like that.
Huh?
I said you sound very positive. A lot of energy there.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a while I didn't get a call in. I had some issues with your station here in Borby's break down for a while, and then when I tried to call in, I had Mr. Glenn Lal and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, sir.
I finally get through to you now.
Yes, sir.
This is Councillor McDougall from Port Morant, NDC.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I was told that the GRA issue was raised on your program. You had somebody from GRA concerning the motor vehicle.
Yes,
issue.
I was hoping to get Mr. Station, but he was not available, and so we had the public relations, one of the public relations officer, I think Mr. Claude, I think it is. So he was here, and I did raise that issue with him, and he says, yes, based on the information, but you wanted to debate Mr. Station.
Yes.
I wasn't able to get Mr. Station, but he's basically saying the stand is some procedures, which is if you know that the vehicle is going to be down for a little while, you inform them so they could suspend all activities with that vehicle there. But I understand what you're saying there with the other vehicles. So
Yes.
I'm still going to continue to try to get Mr. Station.
Right. I got that information too, that response. Not from like how we talk right now, but otherwise. And I don't think that's a true thing. That's a lie. I don't think people in Guyana knows that particular policy.
Well, they're saying it
exists.
very clear. Mr. Station told me that. And then the PR officer also told me that you need, if you know that your vehicle is not going to be working and you want to suspend those road license from being issued, you need to inform them. Because
Right,
there's
but
no...
I'm saying that they told you that. That's fine. But we, the public, don't know that.
Right.
Right. So they're not publicizing the policy properly for us to know how to conduct ourselves as far as this issue is concerned. We're still ignorant and still dumb, and people still flying out of the country and leaving the vehicle, and people still leaving the vehicle without flying out and having this issue pile up on them. My thing is about the honesty in a situation like this. I think we're being fleeced, and there's no way that station or the PR that came on could explain that we're not being fleeced. Right, so I would have been glad to come on and let him have to debate with me on that. When the vehicle is not being used, we're sending in ample evidence of the vehicles being down, and or some kind of way that they could know we weren't using the vehicle, and still they wouldn't remove the policy. It's not good for this country. Let the people know if that's the policy, so we could comply.
Thank you very much.
If we don't know, we can't comply.
Yes, I thank you very much for that.
Right. The second thing is there was a termination of firing at the NDC.
Which NDC?
Port Morant.
Yes, sir.
For the acting overseer being terminated for stealing the money. She was fired under the public service rules, number 35, malpractices, and penalties, which is malpractice with fraudulent intent. So somebody had come on the radio and said something about that issue. I didn't follow it up, but I just want to clear the air with it. It was a fact that she was terminated for stealing the council's money with ample evidence that if at any time they want, they could have it. Reshma Rupram was not doing the job properly. She was stealing the money, and we had to fire her after she was exposed. This is something I would like to have known, because I want to believe there are a lot of NDCs that are going through this kind of thing, and councils need to be aware that this is happening and stop it.
I heard that NDC along the East Bank there, the overseer, has disappeared with about $20 million. And I don't understand, how do you have $20 million over a period of time? Where's the council? How do you... Because you're not going to have that... How do you... No, but hold on. You ain't walking by yourself.
Right.
You walk in with the council.
Hmm.
So what happened to the council? Was the council sleeping or the council is complicit in this?
They would have had to have forgeries because the council would have had two to three signatories to the account. And for some reason, if that had happened, it had to be a collation between the chairman and whoever the signatories and the overseer to have that done. And then after it was done, the money gets split up. That's how it, because the bank would not release money to the overseer without.
So you take the people taxes, you don't deliver the service, and then you take the money and you put it inside the pocket.
Yeah, there's another way to twist the paperwork within the NDC, in the office. That's what our overseer, acting overseer, was doing. She was falsifying documents and getting away with it for a period of time because nobody was vigilant on the account until, well, I got up and started investigating and found it and brought it to the attention of the council, and she was terminated. This is what does not happen with other NDCs, and that's why the money is disappearing and people don't get service because we have money, or they don't have money too.
Thank you very much for that, and I'm glad that you bring up back those overseer and the chairpersons and things like that. That's a sad situation that we have.
Very sad. There's a coalition or a cooperation within the team that's going on. I can't sanction it because I don't have the evidence, but that's the only way that monies that the overseer could steal so much. There have to be some sort of alliance with the chairman and others in the council.
Thank you very much,
The third thing, Mr. Gildarie.
Oh, you have something as well.
Yeah, one other thing, and this is very important, right? I read, and I don't know if this is fake news, I'm hoping it's fake news, that the administration is now changing up things at NDCs where there's going to be a technical response team, so to speak. That's what they call it, a technical response team that's going to listen and look into the issues of the residents. Now, this technical response team is going to be headed by the regional chairman of every region.
Does a quick response team or the rapid response team?
Rapid
the president?
response team, yeah.
Yes,
technical
I saw the
response
president.
Team, something like that, right?
Yeah.
All right, forget the name. This is the essence of the issue. This thing is going to be run by the regional chairpersons, assisted by the deputy regional chairpersons and the REOs. As it is said, they're going to be the ones who are going to bring the issues of the residents to solve. Now, where is the NDC in this? Now, remember now, NDCs are supposed to be autonomous. We're supposed to be making our own decisions and doing stuff for the community that's best interest of the community, right? The regions don't control the NDCs. They don't even have to assist the NDCs. They stop that, right? Any financial things and so, they don't do that. Oh, by the way, before I continue, Zaman Hussein is not the regional chairman. He's the vice chairman.
No, probably made a mistake. He's the vice chair. I'm aware of that. Thank you.
Yeah, good. So, coming back to what we were saying. My question is, I'm glad Mr. Glenlal, if he was there, that maybe he would have been more into answering this. What is going to become of the NDCs if these rapid or quick response or technical response teams are going to take over the issues of the residents to be solved?
Well,
I
have an issue as to why the NDCs are not raising this with the regional thing. Because if you have stakeholders, if it's a stakeholders group, why is it that the RDCs did not see it fit to include that's a question that I would want to ask. See it fit to include the NDCs. But very good question I'm going to have to ask because if it's every region, I'm going to probably have to raise this matter here maybe with Nigel Damlal or whoever it is because he would have been there with the president up in Berbice.
Yeah, because I could see this is heading to the NDCs being defunct.
Yeah, but not only that too. If your left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and I have always said that, you have it in the communities, and this is where I come back. The local government organs are going to be very important if you really want to live this country, the communities, to the next level. And if you can't be able to use the structures, the systems that are there, you can be able to do it. So here you have the RDC, which is the Regional Democratic Council, that's in charge of the region, that is not talking to the NDCs. You have an issue, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
Yeah, right.
So you can't coordinate, you can't have that coordination. And then there's also the very big, the elephant in the room, which is the NDCs have structures in terms of the manpower and resources there.
Right.
You could be able to call upon them to do certain things that the RDC might not be able to do. In any case, the NDC are supposed to be knowing what is happening within their communities. So that is a thing. But I hear what you're saying. We'll have to continue this conversation.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Mr. McDonald.
You're welcome, Mr. Gildarie. Take care.
Good, bye-bye. So all the way from Berbice there, it's about 2:48. We have a couple of messages there. I will say good afternoon to W.R. Riaz in the studio, very quiet in the corner on his phone. Good afternoon to you, sir. I'm from the region, from the New Road, Region 3. I have a problem, and the NDC is turning a blind eye to it. There's a guy who's selling pork and chicken on the roadside. Vehicles are passing and the dust is flying onto the meat. It's not healthy for human consumption. The sanitary and the NDC not looking into it, into that. Other people are selling meat in the same vicinity but in the yard. This man above the law. You need to take some pictures and send it as a letter, maybe put it on Facebook. I know that we can't name and shame. Well, I know that we're not supposed to take bread out of people's mouth, but if it's going to be unhealthy for people, it's going to pose a threat to them, then we have to do what is right for the people. So do this, send it to them. Let's start, these are things that people are going to see, and hopefully send it to the NDCs. In fact, the NDCs should start opening Facebook pages and so on, so people could send them messages. Somebody's not thinking. We're still doing the same thing. The NDC that you knew 20 years back, we're doing almost the same thing like that. Nobody's changing. Nobody's adapting. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Leonard. How are you? Could you address this issue that has to do with a study that was done by the Dutch University a couple of years back on Georgetown and the flooding situation? Yes, I remember that. Taxpayers had to pay for this. I'm not sure whether taxpayers or they did it off their own. What good has been done to help to mitigate the flood situation in the city? Is the mayor and council, and by extension the government, really serious about stopping this flooding? Is it rocket scientists that they cannot get right? We have to rally for better than this. We cannot put up with this anymore. Thanks, and have a good afternoon. Thank you very much, dear sir. And that's the issue. We're doing all these studies, we're doing all kinds of things, and then we take it, we chuck it into the bottom of a drawer and do absolutely nothing about it. But it's always a big thing. You hold a big press conference. We've commissioned a study to look into how many poor people they got in Guyana. And when you get a report of it, it says 40,000 poor people, or people living within the poverty line, earning less than $2,000 a day. They do absolutely nothing. What are you putting in to the system? Any kind of financing mechanism that, if you want to open a business, there's a grant that you could probably get. The grant is about $500,000. Just come up with a business plan and we give it to you. We month it to you, and, you can move on. You share that money with somebody else. So there's a couple of things that could be doing there. Good afternoon, Gildarie. To being quite honest, I'm so surprised that many news organization persons, Byron, Mr. Lal, Kimal King, and Mr. Yogan yourself, are so silent about this giveaway. Quite sad to say that unless Guyanese don't wake up and demand what is rightfully theirs, my generation and the younger ones than me will suffer from years to come. Thank you very much for that. Say it, Leonard, your gods, and hearing from you is an inspiration for the people. Thank you very much, dear. I'm going to send that light issue there on Berbice to the relevant ministry. Do we have another call in line? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, sir. You're tuned in to the Wake Up Guyana show.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon, sir.
Calling from Blairmont.
Blairmont. Yes, Blairmont.
West Bank of Berbice.
Yes, sir.
We receive our COVID $25,000 today. I'm very happy for it, because they start doing Blairmont, and they start with Ithaca and Blairmont yesterday.
Yes, I know that it started in West Berbice. Are there any hiccups going on in that area there?
Oh, everybody is happy as far as I'm concerned. The person them who collect their money was so happy.
Very good.
I got one complaint about the Blairmont NDC. Mr. Gildarie, Blairmont NDC garbage trailer done actually 1 year now.
And what are they doing about it?
I don't know. The last council I talked to, they say, oh, it needs 12 nuts and bolt for. They take out the side, and the side rotten out, and they are putting board. 3 months now, that bolt cannot go on to the side of that trailer. If you see how the people...
Take a picture of it and send it to us. 62222. We get somebody to do it. 62222. Take a picture of it.
It is so very, very disgusting. The people are throwing the garbage in the sideline. And when you see
I know what you're talking about. Take a picture. Yeah. Now, Riaz want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good afternoon to you. And I'm not being personal, but I'm just want to find this out, because I'm seeing some controversy on social media on this. Are you or anyone in the area that are renting homes, or is it your homes? And I'll answer you. I'll tell you why I ask you that. So can you give me that info about the $25,000? That is
In Blairmont?
no. This is general. I'm asking you. Are you renting, or is it your home, or you know
this
if
is
anyone
my
who's
home.
renting or own their homes in that
This is-
area?
This is my personal home, and everybody around me have their personal home right here.
All right. Thanks
In
so much. I'll
Claremont.
tell you why I asked that as well. I've seen some debates on social media about renting, some saying that they present receipts, they didn't get it, showing, and then some is saying that they did get it. So this right hand, left hand, it needs a little bit more investigation. And I've only bring this to attention so to try to ease the less burden on persons. Hence I asked that gentleman.
From yesterday to today, it's smooth. I did not see and I hear anybody talk anything about somebody else collected it for this home or that home. But it's smooth and
Great.
I'm glad.
Great.
Thank you very much, dear sir, all the way from Blairmont to the west coast
Yeah,
of
well,
Berbice.
There's a very lengthy debate that I sat there just now and I've noticed. Hence
Yes, sir.
Hence I
Over to you. Anything else, sir? I think we lost that gentleman. So thank you very much. I want to say good day to Berbice. Guy calling from the Blairmont there, West Coast Berbice, and he's saying that all was good with the distribution of the $25,000 COVID-19. Before we sign off here, I think we got about a minute or so. You got 20 seconds, WI Riaz. Anything you want to say very quickly? I know that you always have a lot in your head.
Yeah, a lot. Guyana seems to be on poised to development. Let us work and add in our little way the same sentiments that you have mentioned. You know, we need to get up. We need to add to GDP in every little way that we can. Do like what you mentioned, grow that garden. That's adding to GDP. How does it add to GDP? It means that you are providing for yourself. You have a little bit more extra money in your pocket that you could spend in other areas.
Thank you very much for that. Good point. And that's the whole point of what we were saying a little earlier. And it was a little emotional time for me because, you know, I'm thinking that maybe we needed to, you know, we can't continue this way. I don't like being on the same. I don't like sitting on my hands. I don't like to be in the same situation. I always try to get up. And in next year or so, if I'm ever off here, I'm going to come back on air and tell you what I did this year to improve myself. And I'm monitoring it right now. And I should be in a good position. If I do badly, I'm still going to come back and tell you guys. But whatever it is that you're doing right now, wherever you are, I hope that you would have had a good day so far. And going forward, that you have a very good day, because we are coming down to the program time. And we are going to be back with you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Let us keep the fire in us burning, because we want to do better. We will do better. We can do better, because this is our beautiful country, Guyana. This is the Wake Up Show right here on Kaieteur Radio. If you've missed us, we're still on Facebook. You could see a replay of it on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. So do happen to have a pleasant rest of the day. You know, just don't do anything that is going to put you in any danger. Wear your mask, sanitize, protect your family, protect your co-workers, protect your children, protect the older folks. Good day to all senior citizens in Guyana. Hope that you tuned in. You know, stay safe until then. I want to say before I part, good day to Mr. Ken Vincent of the Food for the Poor, doing a fantastic job over there, sir. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant rest of the day, folks. Until tomorrow.